Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. Okay, I thought I'd escape into my room and maybe have a little bit of a tarot lesson. I'm absolutely loving teaching tarot at the moment. Just getting people to open up their imagination. It's really kind of like say what you see. And I spoke on my previous video about, whether or not you have tarot cards yourself or divination cards, let's just call them that. And I was thinking there's no excuse really, all you need is some card. And I was thinking of even like the back of a cereal box will do. It'd be quite amusing actually to see what the kind of the reverse side of them would be, whether there's any kind of messages in how you kind of cut them out and how the cards kind of end up if there is a picture on the other side. It's about not being perfect. That's what it's about. It's about not thinking too much into it. And then you can get a bit stuck and think, well, where do I start? And I think start with the major arcana of the tarot. It's just 22 cards. Some people do pull out the major arcanas. The major arcanas are, the tarot is the story of life, okay, what we all go through. But with the major arcana, these are events that we we don't really have control of. So it kind of happens to all of us. And then the kind of minor are how we deal with it. That's up to us, how we deal with the circumstances that should kind of appear throughout our life journey. So I've got my set of 22 already done. And I did just use normal card. I have some tarot cards, so I could use that as a template to kind of just pencil around and then just cut out. Playing cards otherwise, just most of us have a deck of playing cards in the house, so just use them. And then I did kind of illustrate mine. I've been thinking about doing other things to them, but they were hand painted. You don't need to kind of do that yourself right now, but it's just something that these were my cards, so I wanted to put my own unique mark on them. I considered adding wings and everything, but I just kind of like them plain. And then I just wrote in a Sharpie. And my daughter wrote in a Sharpie. Some are still penciled where they're not complete yet, but that doesn't mean I can't use them. So I think let's work on 22 cards to start with. I'm not going to show you what I wrote for mine. I'm going to give you some ideas, okay? And I say get a pen and paper, okay? We're going to start off at 0 and we're going to end on 21. You don't really have to write down what the major arcana is, but you can. But I want you to start writing down really what you would put on the card, what this card speaks to you, what it says to you. That's all that matters. It doesn't even matter if it doesn't mean what the card means, okay? You just got to come up with some kind of feeling for it. Right, okay, so let's start with the Fool. Here we are. So this is the first card in the tarot, and it's the Fool. So my belly's rumbling. Excuse me. The Fool. So what is he? Is he hungry for something? An adventurer. New beginnings. It's what do you kind of see from the card? You can see it's sunshiny. He's packed very lightly. He looks very light. He has a flower here. What's going on with the dog? Why is he near the edge of that cliff? It's kind of what's the feeling you get from this card. Okay. So write down, and you can just start with just words to start. To start. The new start. A fresh start. The Fool card really does kind of mean taking that leap of faith. It means when you've kind of left everything else behind, okay? You are packed lightly because you're off on an adventure. You need to kind of not have much clutter. Kind of, you're not bringing along baggage, a lot of baggage. There's nothing that's going to kind of hold you back. You're free. It's a card of freedom. Could just say that word, freedom. Okay, so let's leave it there with the Rider-Waite. And I've put the clean slate. That's what shouted out for that card for me, was the clean slate. I didn't think no more into it. I could really change some of these, but I just stuck with my initial, what I wanted, the clean slate, the 0. I've put the 0 there so that I can recall what it is in the Major Arcana. Let's move on. Okay. Now, I haven't really sat down to study the actual story of these 22 Major Arcanas, so that's something that maybe, you know, I don't know whether we can do that along the way as we do it now, or whether, you know, someone will put together a story, might want to take the time to see what this journey is all about. And okay, but the first person that the Fool meets is the Magician. Okay, so this card, the Magician, really talks about the universe. Okay, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's that universal energy force. All the components are there on the table. You've got the infinity symbol. Could be something like to infinity and beyond. Limitless, the kind of words that you could use. It could just be the law of attraction. A divine power. It's an instruction card, isn't it? This is like when you have control over the universe. You command. You've got the power. Okay, so that's the Magician card. You have all the tools that you need. It really touches on today's energy, this card. Okay, let's have a look at mine. Master Manifester. Number 1. Who's number 1? Master Manifester is what I chose for that card. Okay. Next card is the High Priestess. Okay, this is about your intuition, following your intuition, trusting. You have the pillars there of the divine feminine, divine masculine energy. This is the Torah that she's holding. Now, where did I read this the other day or hear this? Is that the Torah is based on the first 5 stories of Exodus in the New Testament, I believe. I haven't checked it out, but I heard that, so I'm passing it on. Knowledge. Downloads. Having the Torah is about knowing the truth and living by it. So following, trusting your intuition is most definitely the divine feminine's energy. It's of the moon. So you could use words like I'm not even sure, well, it came through enlightenment, the great teacher, wisdom. You could put in something to do with the Akashic records, the Torah. Okay. I've put knowing without knowing. But it's still in pencil. That's interesting that it's still in pencil, because for me that just shouts out that you don't need to shout out about it. You just know. So, like I said, nothing needs to be perfect. It will all make sense. So I put knowing without knowing for this card. If you're making kind of like some naughty cards, you could put her as the queen of something, couldn't you? Sorry, I don't know where that come from. I don't know what kind of cards you want to make, okay? It's up to you. They're your cards. I'm sorry. But when I first started, every time I saw that card, I used to giggle and think that she was the blowjob queen. Oh, let's get back to some divine feminineness with the Empress. Okay, so the Empress, comforting, nurturing. The Empress has embodied all of the traits of all 4 queens. She's a combination of them all. She's the Empress. Okay. So this can fertility, motherhood, nurturing, caring, compassionate, Mother Earth, you could call her, the Divine Mother. You could just call her Grace. That fits well with her energy here. Okay, I have named that card Divine Feminine. So that's what I named that. Okay, who's up next? The Emperor. So, okay, I'll let you in now. Divine Masculine. Authority. You can use other words if you want. Sternness. Temperament. Can we just call him the Divine Masculine? That's what I'm going to call him. I know then that we're talking about him in the deck. Okay. Next we have the Hierophant. Our belief systems, marriage, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine keys here, crossing at the bottom. Okay. Again, this can be authority, divine control, divine direction. This can be about hanging on to belief systems, so having a look at your belief systems, the way that you do things. This could be a card of stopping to take stock of your beliefs versus others. So that B there could be beliefs versus others' beliefs, seeing as you've got two different kind of gentlemen here. Morals, values, divine purpose. Okay. I have put down tradition. That's what I chose. Okay. Now we're going to come to the Lovers. Adam and Eve, purity, divine love, matters of the heart. You could just put the Lovers, harmony, true love, kindred spirit, sacred connection. But we have the Lovers. I've just put bliss. It's that feeling of bliss. Okay, next we have the Chariot. Triumph, determination, willpower, strength, balanced. It can mean having a kick up the bum from divine, so a divine nudge. Armoured up, ready to go. Divine chariot, where the divine will direct you. I've put down, my daughters wrote this quite close together, which makes me feel as if there's this kind of apprehension. It could be apprehension, overcoming apprehension. I can do this. And I thought that's great because it's like kind of saying it quickly. I can do this. I can. Right, the next card I actually have a different number for, because in the Rider-Waite it is strength. And for some reason in my deck, strength's under number 11. As if like the 11-11 card, I don't know, like the divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So we're going to scoot to number 11 in my deck. So we've got the strength card, you've got the infinity symbol above the divine feminine here, you've got the divine masculine who allows the divine feminine to handle him. So there's trust here. This is about being loving, considerate, compassionate towards each other. But It's really just say what you see or what you feel. Write that word down or the meaning of this card. Okay, I popped down feminine compassion. So for me, this card just showed about showing a masculine's, compassion, the love for the divine masculine. Feminine compassion. So for me, it was a reminder. Okay, so let me just put that one, because 8 has got to go in 11's spot. The Hermit, we go within to find the truth. We're taken like into, you could call it the dark night of the soul. He has his lantern down there. He's gone in for truths. Okay. Withdrawal, but then you could call it wisdom, a deeper understanding. With the Hermit, you're pulled within. Stillness, peace. So you could use any of these words here. I chose to use live in the Tao. For me, this card here is a reminder, okay, or it's an indication that somebody is following the Tao. Just being. They've reached this point of being a human who's just being a human being. They've kind of escaped the humanness and tapped into being. And that's what the Hermit is. They can guide themselves contently. Live in the Tao. Wheel of Fortune. The wheel will always turn. I wanted to kind of say what comes around goes around. This is destiny, karma, karmic cycles. It could mean with everybody studying here that the wheel's going to turn and you're more mature. This is about new chapters. So that could be the wording that you want to use, new chapters. A turn of events. It just means when that wheel's going to turn. I've called it, it's still in pencil, a change in direction. Okay. Next card is Justice. This is card number 11 in the Rider-Waite. I've got it as number 8. Maybe that infinity. The scales will always balance out. Justice will always be served. What goes around comes around, maybe. So this back karmic justice, okay, can even mean the law. It's normally things going in your favour. Things will be balanced out. Karma will be served. I just have karma. Karma. Whatever's due to you will be dealt. Karma. Karma doesn't mean it's negative. It's very much just coming on from that Wheel of Fortune. Things are about to turn. Karma will be dealt. Then we have the Hangman. Number 12. He's there hanging. He's taken a pause. So this could be pause. Could mean enlightenment. But he's taken out of the equation, out of the picture. And he's suspended. Why he has a think. Why he has a think. So he's thinking about maybe why he's thinking a lot. There's a lot on the mind that needs to be thought about. Because he doesn't come down until he's enlightened. I've called this card the awakening of the student. He wants to know. He's in no rush really, but he does want to study. He wants to be enlightened. Next card is the Death card. So when you go through the enlightenment and you kind of come down and you're spiritually aware. So this is off on a new journey. You've left your old life kind of behind. It's all fallen away. You're back to just being a skeleton. Source, I want to say. So you shed your skins. People always worry about the Death card. It's a spiritual transformation. But anyone that doesn't know about tarot, just mention the Death or the Devil. Well, normally they mention it to you first and say, oh, watch me get the Death card. And I think it's not even a bad thing. Well, you might have hell to go through first, but the Death card's not a bad card. It doesn't mean death. Not in the way that they think it does. Okay, so the Death card, spiritual transformation. I've put whole again. Okay. It's a new beginning. It's a new start. There's a sunshiny days there off to be had with a spiritual awareness. Next comes temperance. Temperance is about balancing those masculine, feminine energies, okay, within. It's about reconciliation, finding yourself again, learning the lessons and being able to balance that out. It's like one foot's in the water, one foot's kind of on land, on earth. Finding the balance here. It's kind of remaining whole. So when you've been through the spiritual awakening, you understand the importance of this, and I've called it the blending. So ensuring that you're aware of your masculine and feminine sides, and you've learned how to blend them together. Now the next card is the Devil. Codependencies. It could be, I always look at them as being kind of the lovers in this, and because the lovers is such a strong connection that it's one that you can't seem to break free from, but it can lead you into a kind of dark space where you try to escape. So this is kind of hell that you go through to become whole again. So about being addicted to another person. And this can come in many forms of all addictions, whether good or bad. But it's still an addiction, it's still codependency. I've just called it addiction. No, I haven't, I've called it addicted. It's like, you might as well face it, you're addicted to love. And that's the point that we kind of all have to get to, is the thing that we are addicted to is love, that feeling of love, of being loved, and being able to love, to show love. We need to find that within first, and then we have that. So, all down to being addicted to love, or wanting to be loved, or wanting to hold on to love, when it was all within. Then we have the Tower. The Tower was when Divine strikes and says, okay, now you've learned all your lessons and you're going to have to put them into action now. So it's kind of, I want to say all that's kind of happened is, can you remember about the blending? And if you kind of forget, I want to say because of the addiction of seeking love, the universe steps in. With the Tower here, I've got divine intervention. Divine steps in. Okay. It's kind of like if you don't change your ways. Okay, I'm going to reword that. This is like divine saying, you're on the wrong path. And we need to kind of move you onto the right path of the star. It's kind of you've forgotten that you're capable of manifesting your own dreams into reality. So this is a card of inspiration, creativity. So the Tower card here can be like a shock to the system, but it's a wake-up call to start dreaming again. It's like maybe you got too complacent. It's time for that spark to be ignited. So the Star, it's about inspiration. She's transparent here. She's natural. She's in her element, in her elements. Okay, and she's learning to balance as well. Look, well, I shouldn't say learning, but she's balancing. I want to say she understands the importance here. There's a very much a Jesus kind of feel to this, with her walking on water. I've just noticed she's got her foot on the water there, but it hasn't gone anywhere. So remember your godlike status. You're God's creation. Okay. I've put make a wish with the star. Just make a wish. When we get to the moon is of the feminine here. And we have two dogs maybe speaking here. In the moon, it looks like it's in the sun. So I feel as if it's a masculine energy here with a feminine speaking to the masculine through intuition, through the moon and the stars. But somebody here I feel is listening in. So the moon can be of fear. You could maybe associate it with the moon cycles. Communication, telepathy. Okay. I've put hidden secrets. That's what I feel from this, that there's secrets that need to be spoken about. So hidden secrets is what I named that card. We've got 19, we're up to 19 now. The Sun card, the most happiest card in the deck. It's about new beginnings, positivity, vibrancy. You're born again. The sunflowers here, it's like again, it's just freedom, purity, a new beginning, designing who you are again. It's very much like the clean slate. But I've put down just perfect. That's it. Everything's perfect. Wonderful. Magnificent. Perfect. Next card, Judgment. So this is when you get the call from Divine. Okay, have you learnt your lessons? Are you ready for your new start? There's people kind of, you rise, they're calling you from the grave. Okay, it's time. So it's the judgment call. I pop down the ego turns to God, because I feel that this is really about surrendering and allowing Divine now. Handing yourself over to Divine, warts and all. So the ego turns to God. My writing on this card was a bit kind of skew-with, and but I couldn't change it because that's the ego. Everything's meant to be how it's meant to be. So the ego turns to God. Judgment. It's okay to face judgment because it doesn't matter because you no longer judge yourself. So another's judgment will not affect you. You can see kind of, you can see what the next card is, which is the world. And I've called this, you can see through the veil of illusion. Maybe 21, the age that you grow up, so they say. When you're an adult, okay. Maybe we need to kind of go through it all and then kind of go back to when we were like 21 and go again. Wrapping up cycles, new beginnings. Okay, you could bring in astrology here with all the fixed signs of the zodiac. So it's just about wrapping things up. It's just up through the veil of illusion. You're through to the other side. Life's never going to be the same again. You're kind of held in this holding space. And it's like you always have maybe this eternal space that's yours, which we have anyway. But when it's clear, your sacred space. So through the veil of illusion. Okay. Well, they're the 22 major arcanas. And I just thought it would be kind of nice just to go through them with you. Not just that, but you can hopefully pick up some. I do try and show the cards because I myself would want to know what the cards mean. I wouldn't. I like tarot readers that would show the cards, okay, and tell me what's kind of going on and maybe what they see, because that's how, you know, you can really get to learn and study tarot, is just by just say what you see and say what you feel and don't question anything. I'm just going to pull some cards out of these and let's see if we can just get a quick message what wants to come through with this. And then I'm going to get off and you guys can go and maybe get a bit creative and make yourself some tarot cards. I'm going to be working on the next ones. I think the next ones maybe, I don't actually know. I think I'm going to stick to like the suits, so whether it's pentacles. I feel like I want to do pentacles first. Okay. Right, let's use mine first and see what wants to come up. Make a wish. A change in direction. And bliss. Oh, make a wish. A change in direction because bliss is on its way. So the Star card, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Lovers. What was the underlying energy? The Divine Masculine. Let's see what the Rider-Waite wants to say. Make a wish for the Lovers. A change in direction for the Empress. Let's just clarify this bliss. The Hangman. The Divine Masculine, the Hangman. Make a wish. Feel like the Divine Masculine's waiting for the Divine Feminine to make a wish. Okay. Right, guys. I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye for now.